10 animals that are yet to be domesticated. When we were young, the world seemed like a fantasy. We dreamt of unicorns and Pegasus, only to grow up and realize they don't exist. But along the line, we got more aware of the world and its creatures. We make animals our companions. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. And today we're back with another video to amaze you with all the facts and glories about your favorite topics. You name it, and you get it. In this video, we will discuss the 10 animals we wish we could but haven't yet been able to domesticate. The reasons behind this is that some animals just can't be tamed, whereas some are too aggressive for either, and others are too quick to flee at human sight. Number 10. Zebra. Starting off the list with the zebra. In the 19th and 20th century, colonists encountered transportation problems in Africa. This was because their horses were sick, and there were various other issues that caused hindrance in bringing more horses back from Europe. In this situation, they turned to zebras, the near relatives of donkeys and horses. This was for two main reasons. One, they could be found easily in the region, and two, they didn't catch any diseases that horses and donkeys were suffering from. However, they failed to domesticate zebras. But what could be the reason? Well, zebras are naturally suspicious by nature. They flee away when they sense even a tiny bit of danger. They are very alert and aggressive animals. Even after they're tamed, they don't like to be ridden. If we try to capture them, they run super fast and even resort to kicking or biting to escape. Besides these problems, the colonists did manage to tame a few zebras, but later found out that since they were smaller than horses, they were pretty uncomfortable to ride on. Number 9. Elephant. Weren't we all fascinated by the giant beings while growing up? Asian elephants have been captured and trained for over 3,000 years, but still, they haven't been domesticated. Even if the animals are tamed, they are very unpredictable because they're still wild. Now, you might think that elephants have indeed been domesticated, but this is actually a myth. This is only possible through the process of selective breeding, which refers to choosing the offspring to breed based on their favorable traits. They should be genetically different from their wild ancestors by the 12th generation to be considered domesticated. Elephants let humans ride them as they have been trained, and not domesticated. 8. Foxes. There was once a time when foxes like the Fuegan or Yahang dogs were fully domesticated from a wild crowd of the Quilpao and Andean fox. Although they were domesticated, they never were taken as regular dogs and soon became extinct. But wouldn't it have been so cool to have them as our pets? We guess we all know the answer to that. All the modern attempts to domesticate foxes haven't been successful. Way before Fuegan foxes, human beings tried domesticating other foxes too, but eventually chose to domesticate cats instead. Foxes are extremely stubborn, and hence it is difficult to domesticate them. In the 1950s, the Russian geneticist Dmitry Belyaev started a project to domesticate silver-black foxes. They are red foxes affected with melanism, which is the opposite of albinism. Melanism makes animals appear black. The foxes were showing dog-like behavior after 4 generations. They wagged their tails, developed a fondness of people, and even liked their breeders. These foxes started to bark and respond to human gestures after understanding their significance after the 5th generation. The project is still going on and is said to be a success, but for now, foxes are tamed but not yet domesticated. Maybe we do have a chance at petting them after all. Number 7. Raccoons. Raccoons are skilled climbers and can fit into tight spaces. On top of that, they're super cute, which makes them perfect for domestication. However, raccoons are highly aggressive and destructive animals. They're very curious by nature and love to roam around. They're also super independent and master thieves. No matter where you can find them, they'll somehow find a way out, like a skilled escape artist, and possibly even better. Raccoons even tend to bite when they're aggressive, and their bites can cause rabies. They can be very chaotic and are natural loners and show little to no signs of loyalty. Number 6. Wild boar. You may have read about these creatures in the Asterix and Obelix comics, but they sure aren't easy to catch. Forget to domesticate. They're believed to be ancestors of farmyard pigs, but are so different when it comes to their traits and domestication. Wild boars are ferocious animals for their size, especially females. Their bristles are used in high-quality painting brushes, and their meat is one of the most expensive in the world. However, they aren't easy to tame, and certainly not domesticate. Only the most courageous animals can take down a wild boar. They're even known to kill tigers. While there are a few farms that have taken the risk to tame and breed the boars, they aren't sustainable for domestication. Number 5. Great white shark. If you've watched Jaws, then you certainly know that these monstrous ocean creatures are untamable. However, in the past, various futile attempts have been made to tame or domesticate the great white sharks. These attempts failed because sharks don't take captivity well and die within a few days. As a matter of fact, 16 hours is the longest that a shark has lived in captivity. One of these sharks, held captive at Okinawa Chirami Aquarium in Japan, bashed its head on the glass of the aquarium and died. Sharks are great explorers and like to freely move in the entire ocean. They also need live prey to hunt and gallons of water to breathe, making them untamable or unsuitable for domestication. Number 4. Dingoes. These dog-like animals from Australia were partially domesticated by the early natives of Australia thousands of years ago, before they let them free in the wild. These animals are quite similar to dogs, but have a difference in the way they are domesticated. Early native Australians considered them a source of food, and dingoes were not selectively bred based on their favorable characteristics. Number 3. Bonobos. Bonobos are not considered wild animals. They domesticate themselves. This even leaves scientists in wonder. The only thing they had to say is that it happened 2 million years ago when the River Congo was formed in Africa. The formation separated the forefathers of the bonobos and chimpanzees that lived on one side of the river. They had to fight gorillas for food, and thus evolved into the bigger and more aggressive bonobos. However, on the other side of the river, there was enough food, and female bonobos only mated with the ones they liked. So aggressive males died because females preferred the gentler ones. Number 2. Dolphins. You must have seen dolphins performing at shows and must be wondering why they're on the list. However, they aren't easy to domesticate as they are habitual in the ocean and like to roam around. They like to freely explore the great waters. Dolphins are the most intelligent animals, making it more difficult to command them and make them perform. They can be bred in captivity through difficult methods, but one can still find traits of a wild animal. It is an extremely tedious task to domesticate them, as they're quite unpredictable and huge in size. And number 1, hippopotamus. The hippopotamus is known to be the most dangerous animal in Africa and is also said to be the deadliest animal in the world. Every year, more people are killed by them than by lions, tigers, elephants, buffaloes, and rhinoceroses combined. They have large pointy teeth and are extremely fast. Besides their weight, they can run up to 48 kilometers per hour. To get an idea of how fast this is, here's an example. The world's fastest man Usain Bolt barely reached nearly 45 kilometers per hour. Besides, if it comes down to a human and a hippo in the same place, it will end up deadly for the human. There have been many independent attempts to domesticate this animal, but all the attempts turned out to be a failure. A 1.2-ton, 5-year-old hippo killed Marius Els, a South African farmer and army officer, as he was trying to domesticate it. The hippo was named Humphrey by Marius Els and was considered a pet. He took Humphrey for a swim in the river and said it was like a son to him, while he rode him once. However, Humphrey had no attached strings with Els, and he killed him in the river they used to swim in. Humphrey was feared by every person in the local area in which Els lived. The hippo was infamous for slaughtering calves and chasing golfers at nearby golf courses. It ran after a man and his grandson up a tree while they were canoeing in the river that ran through Els' farm. So that was it for today's video. Comment down below if you have more animals to add to this list. We hope it was informative enough and you are amazed by the facts. We will be back with more. Do show us your love and support by liking this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you won't have to miss any of our videos in the future ever again. Till then, ciao. Ciao.